anywhere near the bottom. You have to come back up. Then the guy drops down beside you and starts unclipping shit. And I'm like, what the f*** if he unclips the wrong one before I'm clipped back up? So this is going through your head while you're bouncing up and down. So eventually you're back to the top, you need a chiropractic adjustment, you need your head is so red from the blood flowing through it. And I decided then, and then 2 days later doing the whitewater rafting, that, I might change my risk levels. Maybe I'm pushing life too far. I don't want to avoid risk, but I want to maximize my returns in life, my enjoyment, whether it's and the same thing with the investment. I want to maximize returns, but by minimizing the risk as much as possible. Does that make sense? So in investing, the whole thing, the psychology behind being a great investor is you want to maximize your returns. You want to get the highest returns possible by minimizing your risk. And successful investors do that. They're able to increase their returns and decrease the risk. And riding the bikes was a good analogy of that, is that I'm going, okay, I'm just being smart. I want to look after my body. I don't want broken ribs, etc., because that equals pain. So I'm going to still have fun and push it as much as I can, but by minimizing my risk. And preempting. In other words, looking for what can go wrong well in advance. So you're not, in other words, being a defensive rider. A defensive rider is knowing there could be a tree across the track, knowing there could be a four-wheel drive coming around the blind corner, and being prepared for that. Because if you're pushing it and you're not prepared for that, then you can be reckless, and that's where people can get seriously injured. Does that make sense? It's the same analogy with investing, is that we want to be able to maximize our risk, because we say, well, life is dangerous. Let's not do anything and put ourselves in a cotton wool and don't do anything. Is that a way to live life, yes or no? No, there is danger and there is risk. So what we want to do is be intelligent about what we do. We want to maximize the enjoyment of our life. We want to minimize the risk of what can go wrong, knowing that some things are outside of our control. And as control freaks, it's hard to handle, but in life there is. So today what we're going to look at is how do we go and deal with a life of total uncertainty, but feel we're in control without being a control freak. Because being a control freak, if we've tried that, doesn't work either. Does it make sense? Okay, so what I want to challenge you this weekend, not only are you going to learn how to master your finances, you're going to learn how to master your life. And to master your life, jot this down, you need to first learn how to master your emotions. So some of the time I'm going to spend today is how to master your emotions, because if you want to become wealthy, the first step is not the financial strategies. Some people like me, just show me the money, Jamie, just show me how to rent out shares and make 10 grand a month, and then that's all I need to know. Or show me how to do CFDs or trade E-minis or invest in property, no money down. Just show me those things and I don't worry about the psychology stuff. I'll get around to that later. Okay? And we're like that. Is it true? The most common thing that happens when people want to learn about wealth is that they neglect the psychology. How much is psychology out of 100%? Tell me. 80%. And we say the strategies are how much? 20%. But most people are starting, they're thinking to themselves, bullshit. They just say that. Really, just show me the goddamn money. Is it true? I used to be like that. Was anyone else like that? Just come on, just like, yeah, that might be important, just want to sow. But the more you become successful as an investor, the more you study it, the more you realize and go, aha, now I get it. The psychology is almost all of it. All of it. It's so critical. But in the beginning, we don't recognize that. So here's a clue. If you like that and you're not recognizing, just go on faith and recognize the psychology is a large part of what it's going to take for you to produce the results that you want. Make sense? And if you neglect it, you'll neglect it at your peril. To master your finances, you need to master your life. To master your life, you need to master one thing, and that's your emotions. So what I want to do later today is teach you some skills and take you through some experiences that will help you improve your emotional muscles. Because most of us are emotionally lazy. True? We might go to the gym and build our physical muscles, but emotionally we're lazy. Culturally, people are lazy emotionally. In other words, in our society, we use usually external stimulants to change the way we feel. Whether that's food, caffeine, coffee, alcohol, prescription drugs, illegal drugs. We use a lot of relationships, other people. We use a lot of external things to change the way that we feel. Because ultimately, if I said to you, why do you want to be rich? Why do you want to be wealthy? Why do you want to be financially independent? Why do you want that? Tell me. What will it give you? What will it give you? Yell out the answers. It'll give you freedom, give you choices, lifestyle. It'll give you a lot of these things, but underneath that, what will it give you? It will give you time. And what will that ultimately give you? If you have financial freedom, what does that ultimately give you? Happiness, certainty. If you see what it ultimately gives you, it ultimately gives you a what? An emotion, a feeling. Because ultimately at the end of it, I mean, do you really want $1 million of pieces of paper with dead people on it? Do you really want that? Somebody say, yeah, I'll take it. It's not really what you want. You want the emotion that will give you. Being a millionaire, gives you an emotion. Most people want to be financially successful for a feeling of certainty and a feeling of freedom. That's what you want. A feeling of security is another word for that. To have that security, that peace of mind. That's so ultimately what you want is a feeling. And the key to life we're going to look at today is that most people go for external things that one day when I'm financially independent, I'm going to feel good. One day when I'm a millionaire, I'm going to be happy. One day when I'm financially comfortable, I'm going to be this. One day when I've achieved all the financial success, then I'll be ready for a relationship. One day when I do this and this and this, then I'll be happy. So what we get caught up in is the trap. Jot this down. It's called the trap of deferment. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow morning. The trap of deferment. In other words, we defer our life. It's a Western culture sickness. And tomorrow morning, I'll give some strategies around this. But what we do is that we put off our life. We put off our life. We put off feeling the way that we want to do, because one day, when we achieve X, Y, Z, then we'll allow ourselves to be happy. And we have all these rules around our life that have to line up. All these things have to occur before we become happy. Some people, you know how it's incredibly difficult for them to be happy. Where you can go, ironically, and you'll be able to tell me the answer to this, statistically, who are the happiest people on the planet? Are they people from rich Western nations such as Australia, America, the UK, etc.? Or is it people from third world nations? You tell me. Statistically, who's the happiest? If you're not sure, it's the third world countries. And so you go, well, Western cultures have all the money, the comfort, all this, and they're not as happy as they used to be. When Western cultures used to be not as wealthy as they were, when they were developing nations. Developing countries are much happier. People in Fiji, are they pretty happy? Go to Brazil, are people pretty happy? Go to Africa. Actually, when I go into some of the schools, I've been in the schools in Africa, in South Africa, and in Cape Town, etc., and a lot of the orphan schools where the black kids, both parents in most cases have died, usually from AIDS or something, so they have no parents. And you go into the schools to help them out. And I got to tell you, these are some of the happiest, loving children I've ever met. They make you feel so special. They're so grateful. They're amazing kids. You're not an experience. Just go and help out some of these schools over there. They're the most beautiful kids. And they are in a situation where their life conditions around them, they live in the shanty towns. Have you ever been to Cape Town? The shanty towns that exist around Cape Town and Joburg. And so not very nice life conditions. But they're incredibly happy. Yet you could go into Australia or in America and you go and see young kids into schools. Will they be as happy as these kids, yes or no? Generally, no. Will they be as grateful and respectful as these kids? Definitely not. Why? And if we can think about that, why is that case? And what we have in our society, in Western society, we have got off on the track that we think that we have to have all this materialism to be happy. And we defer it to get all the things that we want, then we'll get our house paid off, then we'll be happy. When we get this, then we'll be happy. Where in third world nations, they're often forced to have a lot of those things are outside their control, so they don't put a lot of time and energy in it, and they're just forced basically, well, this is how life is. They accept it and be happy. And they have a much simpler life, is that true? Less consumerism, less materialism. They have much stronger family networks. They rely on the family. They support their family. They work as a tribe or group of people better, where in our societies we become more isolated, more self-centered, more self-focused, and all the things that lead away from happiness. Who's following what I'm saying here? So as cultures, we have a lot to learn. Now, a lot of our culture is based on the American culture. Is that true? Consumerism, etc. And no matter how many things you have, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll be happy. One of my first mentors said to me, Jamie, he said, if you can't be happy when you're poor, what makes you think you're going to be happy when you're rich? And it really hit me hard. So if you can't be happy when you're poor, what makes you think you're going to be happy when you're rich? Because he said to me, all money is a magnifier. That's all it is. I'm thinking, what does he mean by that? Well, he said this. If you're a miserable bastard, a poor miserable bastard, and you become a rich person, what do you become? A rich miserable bastard. Because money just magnifies who you are. If you're a generous, loving soul and you become very wealthy, you become a generous, loving soul on a grander scale. Does that make sense? Money is a magnifier of who you are. It'll be a magnifier of your emotions. That's why people that haven't built their emotional intelligence or emotional muscles and come across a lot of wealth rapidly usually destroy their life. Because their current emotions, their ability to be happy, the ability to take care of their life and be responsible is now magnified because they have no limits. See, what's good in a lot of our society, when people have financial limits, it stops them from doing crazy things because they have to work most of the time. Imagine if all of society didn't have to work and they weren't in control of their life. Excess can lead to total destruction of society. You see a lot of that in America, is it true? An excess society. I figured out what caused the global credit crisis the other day. Do you want to know? Jot it down. Friggin' Facebook. Everyone in the world, especially America, is on Facebook. They're logged on to Facebook. They don't work anymore. No wonder the economy's crashing because no one's going to work. So that was the major cause of the credit crisis. I have nothing against Facebook. But if we live on Facebook and don't do any work, then we're not adding value to society. So, where was I up to? Important point I was making. Is that true? So Western society, we are culturally ingrained to think that, okay, if you get the nice house, the nice cars, the nice partner, the perfect family, then we'll be happy. And people then go and pursue, I want to become wealthy, so I'll be happy. And it's a dangerous delusion to get caught up into. Now other people go, well, I knew it, I was right, money doesn't make you happy, I'm not materialistic, I'm not into all that, and I'll just settle for life. Is that what I'm suggesting you do as well? No, because that's a cop-out. It's bullshit. Because it's living in denial. The way to make our lives work, we have to accept the truth. We have to see life as it is. Not worse than what it is, not better than what it is, just how it is. Because we see how it is, then we can do something about it. Making sense? So my point is, in Western society, we don't want to get caught up in deferment, putting our life off. What we want to do is that, yes, money can make you happy if you're already a happy person. Make sense? If you're already a happy person, if you can be happy, and that's what I had to learn. I had to learn to be just happy and content. Didn't say I had to stay broke, but just happy and content on a small amount of money. And if I could be happy here, any more money is just great in abundance, but I had to detach my happiness from money. And that's a hard thing to do in our society, because in Western society, we're addicted to this stuff called money. Some people say money isn't important, but I put it up there pretty high with oxygen. Is that true? Try living in our society without it. So jot this down, because there's a lot of conflicts around money. And here's the most important thing I want to teach you. Jot this down. Money is important. Write it down. Some of you are going, my brain's confused. Jot it down. You live in a Western culture. Money is important. Is that true? Yes or no? I'm not saying it should be this way. I'm just telling you how it is. Money is important. If you're in denial and not aware of that, then you'll have some challenges in our society. True? Say, I'm not really into money. I say, test this theory. People say, I'm not really into money. I'm not materialistic. I say, hey, let's test the theory. Go down to Woolworths or Coles, load up your shopping trolley, push it up to the checkout chick, and go, you know what? I'm not materialistic. I'm not really into money. Money's not important. And push the shopping trolley out the door. You may not be into money, but guess what? The rest of the world is. So we can't live in denial. Because the other part of living below the line is exactly that. Blame, excuses, and denial. Denial of reality. Denial of a problem. We can't live in denial. We have to accept, whether we like it or not, and that's why I get you to jot it down. Money is important, because some of you have mixed associations. It's like you've been taught different things growing up culturally. Some people were taught money is the root of all evil. Money is bad. Money is all these different things. These are what we call cultural belief systems. Cultural belief systems. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. That is up to you. I'm here to challenge you that what you believe will determine your results in life. Does it make sense? Now, if you have the belief system that money is bad, it's the root of all evil, etc., then is that going to empower you, inspire you to do well long-term financially, yes or no? It won't. Now, I don't care what's right or what's wrong. The whole challenge in life, people get caught up in opinions. What's right, what's wrong? I'm not interested in what's right or wrong. What am I interested in? The result. Jot it down. The truth is in the results. So whatever your belief system, now some of you don't even know what your belief systems are around money because it's subconscious. I know as a kid when on the country road they'd go up past our farm, if there was a nice Mercedes or a nice car go up the road, we used to go, betcha they're drug dealers. All stole the next door neighbour's cattle. Where does this association come from? That people have money, there's something bad about them. Now in Australia, do we have that culture, yes or no? That if people are rich, there's something bad about them, yes or no? If you become rich in this country, you need to be aware that you're going to become one of the hunted. We have a crazy society. We live in a rich country, the best performing economy in the world right now. There's no better economy in the world to be in, better country, most stable opportunity to live in the world right now than Australia. You realise that? Sorry about those from Kiwis, but you should always realise that it was always not as good as here. Okay? So the point is, we have tremendous opportunity. We have a rich country. The greatest challenge I have in helping people become rich is that to help them understand that if you live in a rich country, wouldn't it make sense that it's natural and automatic to become rich? If you live in a rich country, you already are rich. A lot of people are like, how skeptical are Australians around money? Test the level of skepticism. My millionaire mentor said, Jamie, you've got to understand is that people are highly skeptical. There is secrets, there is strategies, there's answers out there. People have everything they want. But the way society is, they're so close to it. He said, here's what it is. You could go and stand on a busy street corner, Gold Coast, Sydney, New York, wherever, and try handing out $100 notes. Just try and do it. And guess what will happen? Besides the fact you might get mugged, is that a lot of people will not take the money, will they? Because they'll be like, oh, what's the catch? Sounds too good to be true. And they'll miss the opportunity. Because in life, a lot of people have a belief system around investing. Is that true? If something sounds too good to be true, it probably, that's what they're taught. That's a cultural belief system. This is what we're culturally brought up with. And if we believe this stuff, it's going to affect our performance around money. Now, the results most Australians produce in a rich country is at age 65 is pathetic. Most Australians, 92 to 94, 95% of Australians, will not be financially comfortable in retirement at age 65, even though they live in a rich country. So the question is, if you live in a rich country, it's not a matter of can you become rich, and is it possible, and oh, no one can do that, or that's not going to work. It's more like, come on, you live in a rich country, of course you can be rich. You actually already are rich. To manifest and have more of what you want, you first must recognize what you already have. Secret, the law of attraction. It's so critical. I was talking about this the other day on the radio. The law of attraction. It's so critical. Law of attraction basically states that you'll attract what you focus on. It's true. The challenge why most people fail financially is their focus is not on abundance, their focus is on a lack of. They focus on bills, they focus on the lack of money, the lack of things they have in their life, and therefore they keep on focusing on that, and that's what they manifest more of, more lack. I had to learn to control my focus, control my fear, and focus on the things that I want. Focus on the end outcome, the result that I'm after. By focusing on that and staying committed to that, because it's not good enough just to have, a lot of people, The Secret was one of the most successful DVDs of all time. And once Oprah got hold of it, it became even more successful, okay? And remember when The Secret was made, Channel 9 actually produced The Secret. How's this for a total stuff up? Channel 9, which has been in decline since probably last 5 or 6 years, How to Kill a Great TV Station. It's gone now, I think it's third place almost. But Channel 9 produced The Secret, and they were meant to play it. And they said, we don't think The Secret has any commercial value, and they gave it back to Rhonda Byrne and gave all the rights away. People make mistakes, huh? I bet you that executive got their ass kicked. In other words, then it became one of the biggest selling DVD of all time. But the secret why it was so powerful and awakened a lot of people was the law of attraction, because people could resonate with that, and it's so critical. But the only thing I'd say with the secret is you want to add something to it. The law of attraction must be backed up with the law of what? Law of action. You just can't sit there and hum and, send checks in the mail. It's like bullshit. You get more than checks in the mail, you just sit there. People come and take your furniture. You can focus on what you want, but you actually have to back it up with action. So the definition of intelligence is what Albert Einstein said, the ability to entertain an idea. I would extend to that the ability to not only entertain an idea, but the ability to action an idea. And when we study success, the biggest thing you're going to realize, it all comes down to that famous Nike ad is just what? Now that sounds so simple and people talk about that, but we break it down to a science. It's like what holds most people back is that they're capable of doing things. They know they should do things, because I suspect there's a lot of people in this room already that know what to do, but are not doing it. True? Some of we just need to kick up the butt to actually do it. It's getting ourselves the ability to act. And there are certain things that are stopping us from acting. Procrastination, limiting belief systems, fear, doubt, uncertainty, and it causes us to hesitate. And we don't follow through. Where the most successful people just follow through. They take action. They don't, not absence of fear, not denial of fear. They recognize the fear, but they push through. And they're able to get themselves into action. So what's helped me dramatically improve my performances in business and finances is I've developed a psychology over the last 15 years to take massive action. So if anyone hangs around me, they know that one, I'm passionate, and two, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Okay? I was talking to one of my executives, and she likes to tell me I can't do things. I'm going, here's what's going to happen. You're going to come up with reasons why it can't be done, and I'm going to prove to you it will be done. Because what millionaires hate is jot these two words down. Tell me what millionaires hate. What are the few words they hate? Can't be done, and the answer, word no. People that are very good at getting what they want, they detest the word can't. It's like a red flag to the bull. Can't be done. Oh, shouldn't have said that, because now it's a challenge, someone will do it. How many great entrepreneurs have been told something couldn't be done when they went and proved it could be? And you want to have that psychology of you will make things happen. You have to be aware that the way you think it's going to happen may not. So you have to jot this word down, and this is probably, there's a lot of keys you're going to learn this weekend, but this is a big one. Flexibility. Rigid people get bent out of shape. Flexible people don't. Now, this is a challenge for little control freaks in the room, to be flexible, because we like to be rigid. Flexibility is everything, because guess what? How many people whinge about change? Things are going to change. Oh, this is the plan? Oh, but you changed it. Yeah, because life changes. The plan is going to change. If you're so rigid and say, this is what I want, you set your goals. I want X, Y, Z result. And that's what you want, and this is the way you think you're going to get it. If you're so rigid, then you're going to stop life and the spiritual nature of life and success and how it works and the things that we don't understand from actually happening, because you're locked in, you're rigid. You have to say, this is the end goal that I want, and then let go. Let go, and let go of attachment to the end result. Because you don't necessarily control the end result. You're going to do everything in your power to influence it, but you don't necessarily control it. So you have to let go, because you might think to get to A to B, you have to go this way. But life has other plans for you. And it might send you on another direction, and you're getting pissed off. You're frustrated. Life sucks. It doesn't work. It's not fair. But life has a better plan for you. You end up going this way, and you think you're failing. You think it's not working. And as a result, even tragic or something bad might happen. But out of that experience, it leads you to where you ultimately end up getting what you wanted. But if you had done it your way, it would never happen, because you wanted to go this way when life had a different plan for you. And you stayed focused to the outcome, you're clear, but you let go. Who's following what I'm saying here? Because if you look at your life, you look back over life, some of the most challenging times in your life, the difficult times, when it happened, you're probably kicking and screaming, this isn't fair, I didn't want this to happen. Life's difficult. But in hindsight, you probably look back and you go, you know what? I'm glad that happened. If that didn't happen, it wouldn't lead to where I am today. Repeat after me. Something to think about. So flexibility is everything. So I know I'm throwing a lot at you very quickly, so here's what I want you to do. Today, for the rest of these 4 days, 1, I want to challenge you to do this. 1, will you be willing to do this? Keep an open mind. Raise your hand, make some noise, you're willing to do that. Because Albert Einstein, entertain a new idea, keep an open mind. Now, I'm not saying this weekend you have to take on every idea, but be open to it and see how that can work for you. It's your life, it's your decision-making process of how you're going to live your life. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm here to challenge you to think about how you're living your life and how you can improve it. Make sense? So, keep your mind open to new ideas, new possibilities, recognizing that your level of thinking that's got you to where you are today is not going to get you where you want to go, so you need to enhance your thinking. You need to look at it from different ways to go to the next level. Okay? I also challenge you to take lots of notes. So you'd have a notepad there, etc. What I would recommend you do with your notepad, it's up to you, but if you fold the page in half, and you have 2 columns then, and write downwards in columns. You know how newspapers are written in columns? Because your eyes, if you make them read all the way back and across, you'll tire yourself out very quickly. But if you can read down, and so just use coloured texters and things like that, is an easier way when you go over your notes to retain the information, to take it in. Okay? I'm going to challenge you to not only keep an open mind, take lots of notes, but to physically engage. So I'm going to ask you, this is not like university or a lecture, I'm going to ask you questions. Is that true? I'm going to say, you tell me the answer, yes or no, or do you agree with this, put your hand up. It's up to you to physically engage, because they've found that if you just sit there passively, like at school, think back to your worst subject at school. My worst one was, I think, something about Shakespeare and English, and I didn't like that stuff at the time, so I was sitting there, didn't like the teacher, thought he was a wanker, and I was with my mates, and I'm sitting back, like I'm in a passive state, not really, couldn't be bothered. Why am I here? Now, is that conducive to learning a lot, yes or no? Because if you learn something in a passive state, that's the state you'll be in when you go to apply that information. Now, having a passive state, is that going to get you a lot in life, yes or no? If you want to make action, change the world, create your dreams, you can't be sitting passively. You need to be sitting upright. Does everyone just sit upright? Energy in your body, shoulders up, deeply breathing, wide alert, and like you're excited about, you can learn anything in a moment that can completely transform your life. Put a smile on your face that you'd have if you're that excited. Knowing that anything you can learn the next minute, next hour, next day can have a profound shift in the way you live life and see life, and that for the rest of your life you're going to see things differently, things are going to flow to you with a lot more ease and grace, less struggle, and you'll amaze yourself how brilliant you really are.